Welcome to the next video on the Practical Weapons channel. Your host Alex with a weird Russian Jersey, Arkansas speech or accent. One question that was posed to me about the Magpul CZ Scorpion Evo magazines, whether they have a date or year stamp. Towards that goal, I brought a number of magazines. Magpul, I have three types of magazines. I have gazillion Magpul mags. One of them is a brand new, or semi-brand new, I think, Magpul Gen M3 window mags that I bought at Big Daddy Unlimited, I think, a while ago. They're neighbors almost. I want to look at all of them and do comparison to see whether they have a day stamp. Theoretically they do, but let's confirm. And I want to compare that on all Magpul magazines on the table. So let's start with the Gen M3 magazine. Okay, so I'm going to try to show this to you in here. As you can see right here, from what I see on the magazine, this was made in year 2018, month of 12. In other words, December. That is one spot right here. Let me see if I can make it visible on the video. I hope it is visible. I cannot guarantee that, but I'm using one of my tools for the purpose. Let me try to make it visible in the camera if I can zoom in. Let's see. Here is that particular stamp. The arrow points at the month and the year is stamped in the middle. That is my understanding on how this is done. And this is repeated one more time, I believe, at the bottom, or I just saw it. But extremely unclearly. Maybe it is that stamp or not. I cannot guarantee these two. They're not as clear as the one right here. Obviously it's not visible with the plain eye unless you have extremely good eye vision. I don't. I'm getting old. Okay, so Magpul PMag M3 seems to be marked. Let's look at the pistol magazine and see if that continues with the marking. And it is, I can see 5/15. So January, February, March, April 15 on the Magpul Glock magazine. And now the piece de resistance is our EV9 PMag 35 round magazine for the Scorpion. It has that same stamp. Let me see what it says first. And it's 19 and the month of 8. Let's see if we can zoom in and take a look. Here you go. So that's what, July of 2019? I do believe this magazine also has a double stamp, because on the bottom we have another one, you see? Now, what is interesting is, I don't know if that's the same number. 19 and 9. Okay, so the bottom plate is actually 1 month younger than the magazine itself. That is interesting. So there are indeed two date stamps on the CZ Evo magazine. One on the bottom plate right here, and one on the magazine body itself right here. I hope that answers your questions on the date stamps on the Magpul mags. The Pistol magazine also has a double stamp. Bottom plate is separate stamp, and it is 315, while the magazine itself is 515. So in this case, the bottom plate is 2 months older than the magazine body. The PMags don't have a date stamp on the bottom, at least not from outside, at least not from what I can see. They only have one on the body itself. So that's for the PMag. The second question on the magazines was about the magazines made by PSA, which are also 35 round magazines, whether they have any kind of load capacity, holes, or visibility items. From what I have been able to find or see, there is no such thing. So if you want to use a PSA magazine and know how much ammo is loaded, how many rounds are in it, you need to buy a translucent one similar to, let's say, original CZ. So this is a CZ magazine, which you can see, you can fairly much know how many rounds are loaded by just looking at it. The CZ 3rd gen magazine has the holes inside, 15, 20, 25 and 30 rounds loaded on the sides. Has the windows similar to the PMag. The EV9 has just the holes, it's not translucent, it doesn't have a window. It has 10, 20, 30 and 35 rounds loaded on both sides. Unlike all of these magazines, and I don't have the other magazines available on the table because simply they are loaded and I don't want to take them out of the pouches at this time. I have the prep shop or prepper shop magazines, 32 rounders, as the only other type available. You see, this one, made by US Palmetto, made in USA, which is nice, does not have any loading indicator, or loaded indicator, I would say. Also, I don't know if it has a year of manufacture. I couldn't find anything on them because I wasn't looking straight. You see, here is that year. This magazine was made in 2019 in in April 2019. So there is a stamp very similar, in fact very similar to the PMag on this magazine, on the PSA. Looks extremely similar. Just to follow that discussion, let's take a look at the CZ magazines. I don't see anything on them stamp-wise or anything that identifies a year at the first glance. But then I didn't see it on the PSA one either. Maybe there's something inside. That may be, but not on the outside. And not on the bottom. And nothing on the translucent one. At least as far as year is concerned. And I was wrong, I did find it. Okay, so the translucent one has a date stamp right here. Right here. See that? And it was manufactured I have to light it up. In 2013, I believe, or 2015. Very, very hard to see this particular stamp on the translucent magazine. Okay, have to find the right angle. 2016 and month of 10, that's October 2016. So these are dated. Then that would make sense that the new one would be dated too, wouldn't it? But I don't see it. I might be missing it. It would make perfect sense to have it, since the original magazine does. But if you know where that is, maybe on the inside, let me know. I cannot find it. That's all. I hope that answers all the questions that you have asked me on the magazine dating, including non-Magpul ones, and magazine load indicators, or holes to identify how many rounds are in the mag. Thank you for watching. Until next video, and I'm off to the range. Keep practical.